Hey guys, Ningen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so today we are going to start off by showing off the new Beerus at 55%. Hopefully you guys watched the summon video that I did with our boy Toon Rami. It was a lot of fun. Bit crazy, and yeah, I'm not going to really say anything else about it. You should definitely check it out if you haven't already. So we don't have the best starting rotation for Beerus here. We actually can't get a super attack with him. So that's good. It's a good start. So let's go ahead and do this. I guess it doesn't matter who we float off here. We've got the LR, Beerus and Whis in slot 7. So we have to wait for them to come around to this rotation anyway. So that's why I'll put Beerus in the front spot. Being in the first spot like that is kind of where you want him to be, because he does get a buff from being hit. I believe it's 70% attack and defense. Yeah, 70% attack and defense within the same turn after receiving an attack. He gets defense 100% and then attack 150 when performing a super attack. So he gets his defense at the start of the turn, which is good. So he's already got the 100% defense when he takes the first hit. Then he gets attack and defense 70%. And then, of course, you'll get the 150% attack boost as well when performing a super attack. I've jumped into the just very standard Infinite Dragon Ball history, because for this 55% showcase, we are pretty much just having a quick look at what he can do. As opposed to, like, you know, like a full-on crazy showcase of him demolishing events, because we just want to see like his defense, his attack stats, things like that. So he does get a few extra bonuses when fighting against Realm of Gods enemies, which of course we won't be doing in this particular run, but we definitely will take him into the Legendary Goku event. He's definitely somewhat built to be very, very good in that event. Basically all he picks up is from his passive. He gets changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow orbs, and then attacks effective against all types when there is a Realm of Gods enemy. So obviously, for the sake of what we're doing right now, which is just kind of showing off like what sort of numbers he can hit, him having type advantage isn't really an issue, like getting the attacks effective against all types, because it doesn't affect his attack stat at all. Obviously it will affect his damage slightly, but that's not super important. And then hopefully once we get to one of the later stages, we should be able to get his active skill. So you do need to be at 70% HP or less starting from the 4th turn, and then it's kind of like the B-Pan thing. He gives himself an attack and defense 50% buff and attacks effective against all types and guaranteed to hit. So obviously that part super useful for the Legendary Goku event, because he can't be dodged. No key. Unfortunately, with no support units on the rotation, he's in a bit of a bad way, because that would have been a great spot for putting him in the first slot and then grabbing all of those STR orbs with Beerus and Whis. And I think therein lies the main issue with this Beerus. I think he's quite a fun unit. We've all seen like the screenshots of him hitting like 9 million attack stat on his perfect rotation with like support units and his active skill active and all that kind of stuff, but his links are not the best. So when we look at his links, I've got the wiki up in the background here. So he's got a lot of attack links: Godly Power, Prodigies, the Innocence, Berserker, which is one of those weird ones that a lot of Broly units have that you never really see activate. Gives him a small attack boost when HP is 50% or below. And of course he has Fierce Battle. And then his only other links are Connoisseur, which is a 5% HP recovery link, which he'll only really share with Whis and a couple of other units. And then his only key link is Shocking Speed. So straight away it kind of limits the options that you can run him with. Obviously we know that a lot of the really good Realm of Gods units are like the, you know, UI Goku, Blue, Vegito Blue, the Blue Goku and Vegeta. Like a lot of those units are prepared for battle or over in a flash or both, but not Shocking Speed. So I feel like Beerus kind of finds himself in this weird spot where, even though he is one of the now many, I think there's what, like 4 if you include the LR UI Goku as well. There's 4 technically viable Realm of Gods leaders. And unfortunately, Beerus feels like the one who like fits in with the team the least, which is obviously somewhat unfortunate. I am going to do a video about the Exploding Rage category. It's a very weird category, and the funny part is because the LR, Beerus and Whis aren't on that category, he actually struggles to have a good link partner if you were just running a pure Exploding Rage category. Now obviously the way you would do it is to run him as the lead and then just bring Beerus and Whis because they fit under the Realm of Gods part of his leader skill. But if you wanted to challenge yourself, which we will do for a video, to only use the Exploding Rage category, his link partners are not the best. So I have the Dokkan link site up in the background that I've used a few times. I did a whole video about it quite a while ago. But yeah, so LR, Beerus and Whis, they share 6 links. So basically everything except for, of course, Legendary Power, because Physical Beerus is not an LR. Then his next best link partner with 5 links is Champa, who of course is on the Realm of Gods category, but he's not that great. Like, his Awakening made him a much better unit, but he's kind of designed to be a support unit for Universe 6 more than anything. So you could use him as a link partner for Realm of Gods, I guess, but I feel like bringing him as a link partner just for Beerus when he's not a great unit on the team is probably not the best idea. So then we go down to the units that share 4 common links, and there we have the STR Whis. I think the STR Whis is the only one that has 4 because he actually has Fierce Battle, whereas all the other Whis are Shattering the Limit units. Beerus is on there. Interestingly enough, the 2 Dragon Ball Super Brolys are on there, the AGL base form and the physical. They both share the same link set with him because they have Prodigies, they have Shocking Speed, they have Fierce Battle, and then they have Berserker, which is of course one of the links a lot less likely to be activated. So I feel like it's going to be interesting. I'm going to do another video as well. It's going to be out later today. This is the one some of you may have seen. I joked about it on Twitter with all the controversy going on with the Beerus banner. I posted some funny memes, and I decided, kind of almost as like as a joke, I'm gonna make a pretty toxic video, which is gonna go up later, so it should be pretty funny. But yeah, so Realm of Gods almost seems like it's one of the worst teams you can run him on, and he's the leader for that team. So I find that very, very strange, because obviously he's on Realm of Gods, Movie Bosses, Siblings Bond, Worthy Rivals, Bond of Master and Disciple, and of course Exploding Rage, as he is the new leader. Almost every one of those categories, except for Exploding Rage, you are pretty much just going to want to run him with the Beerus and Whis or a Whis. Because obviously Bond of Master and Disciple is sort of, they're on the category because of Beerus and Whis. And then Siblings Bond, the Whis and Vados cards are on there. So because of that, I do feel like he's in kind of a weird spot, because he really only has one really good link partner that you want to run him with, which is the LR Beerus and Whis. Who I only have at 55%. I have no dupes. It actually was quite a while until I even pulled my first copy of them. So some people understandably might not even have them at all. 3.2 mil. So 3.2 million attack stat with a support unit on the rotation. The friend I brought is also 55%, just to, you know, I didn't want to make a how good is 55% Beerus and then have like Goresh's Rainbow Beerus in the video. So but yeah, that's a very high attack stat for a 55% unit, and considering he's linked up with the AGL Zamasu, they're not exactly the best linking buddies. But now this is the rotation that I wanted to see. So now we actually have our support unit. We have Supreme Opie of Time for the 40%. So now we're going to go ahead and use the active skill. Of course, as I've mentioned this in the past, but transferring my account between the phone to the emulator, it always defaults it into Japanese, and then I forget to change it. So I will make sure that for one of the next coming videos where we use this Beerus, that I change the in-game thing to English, so we can hear the English voice act skill as well. Oh, and we're getting the Dokkan attack. Shall I heal? If we get super attacked in the first slot, that'd be pretty bad. He's got 121,000 defense with Supreme Kai of Time. Considering he hasn't gotten that 70% buff yet as well, that's pretty decent, because then that's going to jump up, what? 70% would be somewhere around 70-ish thousand, 75,000. So he's going to be close to 200,000 defense. That's not bad. And this is definitely the best rotation to see him on. Linked up with Beerus and Whis, Supreme Kai of Time. And then, of course, we got the active skill. So this will be the highest attack stat we could see for him, because Supreme Kai of Time is definitely the best of the support units that we brought. So what is he going to give us? With the active skill active, 55%, 6.1. So yeah, 6.1 million attack stat for a unit with no dupes, who isn't an LR, is pretty ridiculous. And then, of course, when we use the active skill, we're effective against all types. So yeah, I was going to say, we should easily finish off Vegeta here with an almost 8 million damage Dokkan attack. So, of course, he is a physical unit, so at 55%, he has a 10% chance to perform an additional. He obviously cannot crit. The active skill gives him effective against all types, which is not quite the same thing as critting, but is obviously still very, very useful. Because obviously one of the things you'll always notice is if you don't get crits against units with whom you have type disadvantage, it really doesn't matter how high your attack stat is. Like, you're just not going to do a lot of damage. So I think getting that attack as effective against all types is really, really good. We still can't get him. So this is what I mean. So I didn't have to keep that one on rotation, I guess, but like I wanted to have a Beerus on both rotations just so we'd get to see him more. But like, as you can see, if you're not running him with someone who's specifically there to be his link buddy, like he just can't super attack. You know, like not a lot of these units that we brought with us have shocking speed. And so if we don't have a key support unit on the rotation, he needs 6 key to super attack. So you do need to kind of build the team around him if you are going to use him. I still think a lot of people I know have said the same already, but the AGL Zamasu, whilst I would not necessarily say he's the better unit, he has the better leader skill, because he has the 170% to attack and HP, whereas Beerus has the 170% to attack and defense. So that's why I brought Zamasu as my leader, and then the friend Beerus to kind of combine the benefits of the two. So we'll see one last attack from him here. This will obviously just be him without the active skill, but still with the passive being activated. See, once he takes that first hit, he drops to taking very little damage, and then 4.1 million attack stats. So he is very powerful. It's just unfortunate that he's one of those units where to get the best out of him, you kind of have to build the whole team around him. Whereas somebody like UI Goku, you just don't. I mean, obviously he's an LR, so I guess that's kind of an unfair comparison, but like, you don't need to build the team around him, because he's self-sufficient, he has very common links with everybody, he gives himself key with his passive, and of course Beerus, despite being the Beerus from Battle of Gods who wants to destroy the Earth, is not an extreme unit, so he won't get any benefit from having units like the Rose or the Tecmo Zamasu, which I know like he becomes a good guy and he's one of the main characters in Super. I mean, I say good guy in like air quotes. He's one of the main characters in Super, but I really feel like this Beerus would have been in a much better position if he was extreme. Because then he would get the benefit from like AGL Rose, the Tecmo Zamasu, or even like the STR Rose, I guess. But like, yeah, he just seems like he would fit better on an extreme Realm of Gods team. So yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll do this turn, because then we can use this Beerus' active skill. Now, at least they both have the... Oh, wait, because we... Oh, okay, so we have to do this. So, we actually heal from the double connoisseur link too much to use the active skill. That's actually quite an interesting little interaction that I've never seen. So, yeah, by literally moving those units to get the healing from that link, we lost the ability to use the active skill. So, now we'll do that again. We'll move you back there. So, as long as he doesn't get super attacked in the first spot, we should be okay. So, obviously, he does need to take that first hit before he gets that defense buff. We got no support on the rotation, so it's just him with Beerus and Whis. 4.3. So I mean that's very good, because obviously the buff from his active skill is calculated separately, so you can see that with the Supreme Kai of Time on rotation giving him 40%, that's calculated into his attack stat, and then the 50% from his active skill. So that's why we went from a 6 million attack stat with her on rotation to 4 million without her. So it is a huge buff. So if you are going to use him, you definitely want to use that active skill when there's another support unit on the rotation, because then the buff that he gets is just so great, which is pretty crazy. And we even get the level 5 additional to go off, so I think that is a good as place as any to end this particular showcase. So that is it for this one. This is the 55% Beerus. Regardless of what you think to the changes to the banner, unless you are a huge Beerus fan, I would probably say you want to skip. Like, Cooler being on there was maybe a reason to chuck a couple of multis, and like, Beerus is a really good unit, but for all the reasons I've said in this video, I feel like you definitely don't need to have him. And then of course, the STR Whis was a big draw, but he'll be going into the general pool, so if you are saving up to just go absolutely ham on the 5-year, chances are you might be lucky to pull a copy or two from there anyway. So, but let me know what you think. Did you summon? Did you get Beerus? Have you tried him out? What kind of teams? Let me know what you think of him down below in the comments section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can follow me on Twitch or join my Discord. The link is in the description below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.